Welcome back to Aiki-Fit Life. I'm your host, Kevin. Today I would like to go over some stability exercises that can lower our center of gravity and make us very stable when we move. It can make us very difficult to move when we don't want to be moved, but very capable of movement when we want to move. These exercises that I'm going to talk about today can benefit any martial art. It doesn't have to be Aikido. A couple of the movements will seem sort of exclusive to Aikido, but they can be beneficial in any sport or any martial art. And I would like to dispense these activities now. The first exercise that I want to talk about is a lunge. Many people think that they know how to do lunges, but I want to show you some details that I see people overlook when they do lunges that can make a big difference in our stability. So, when the average person does a lunge, or when you are at a gym, they teach you how to do a lunge, often they'll tell you to do this 90 degree stance. I say that you should do it with the back leg straight. More martial arts use this type of stance than this type of stance. When we're doing a lunge, we should take a lunge. I recommend catching with the heel and lowering yourself down. Lowering yourself instead of slapping the ground. Like you'll see people kind of just land on their foot. I think we should step and lower down. So if I'm lunging, I would lunge. As I step, I want to lower my weight and hold it predominantly here, so that when I'm coming up, I'm standing on one foot. When I'm taking my next step, I lower myself, and I'm standing on one leg. So it's a very deliberate movement. By putting all the weight deliberately in my hamstring, so when I'm lunged down here, I'm also effectively developing like a one-leg pistol squat, because I'm holding the weight in the same place. It doesn't feel like it here to me because I'm moving, but essentially I'm using the same muscles to do a one-leg pistol squat. Another detail is as I lower this muscle right here picks up the foot. So I want to lower it, so I'm using that muscle. So I'm strengthening my ankle, strengthening all of my stabilizer muscles. Another thing we can do to dress up the lunge is kick. When we lunge, whether your style has kicks or not, Aikido does not use kicks, but it's a great way to develop leg and muscle strength. So when we lunge, let's say we're from a lunge, from here, I'm going to pick this foot up and kick, then step. Kick, then step. Another great exercise we can do, I will call pattycake squats. We're going to stand so that this is pretty straight up and down. I can put my elbows inside my knees, and I'm going to come up and push or punch. I'm going to come back down, I'm going to push. So I'm either going to punch or pattycake, and I'll show you what I'm talking about shortly. When I squat, I want my shoulders up. I want my shoulders up so that my back is straight. So it's like I'm standing, I'm just standing lower. Okay? So I'm here and I'm punching. I'm here and I'm punching. I'm here and I'm punching. By myself, with nothing around me, this is great for my legs and lower body. I will show you in a moment how to also engage the core with resistance. So if I'm alone, what I can do is use a punching bag for resistance. So it's not a hard and fast movement. I'm coming down and I'm coming up and pushing against it, which pulls in my core. And I'm coming up and pushing. I'm coming up and pushing. And I'm using my core to turn. I can make it fast. But I want to use my core and keep my balance, where I'm coming up and pushing the bag from my hips, from my center. I'm not coming up and letting the bag push me backwards. To demonstrate what I mean by partnered practice, we're going to face each other about arm's length, but with a slight bend so our arm's not hyperextended or locked, right? But I can still push. So when we sink down, we're going to come up and push opposite hand so that I'm turning, she's turning this way, so we're both getting a core workout. And then we're going to come back down, come up, and push, right? We want to meet each other in the middle and match the other person's timing. The idea is that we're gradually going to speed up, like we'll start slow and speed up and match the other person's timing. So I'll count to 10, and we'll start here. So we come up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Another version of this that you can work on to blend, to work on timing as well as core and structural stability, is this right here. So I'm going to back up. We're going to go down in the same position, but she's going to face the opposite way. And we're going to stand up, and then we're going to turn and go down together, and we're going to turn and go down together. But what I want to make sure that I'm doing is I'm keeping my hand in front of me. So I'm not straight this way, I'm slightly turned, so that I'm pushing in front of me. So you can further dress up these or your lunges by adding the wheel into them. For example, I'm kicking and on the way down, I'm cutting. So for the lunge, I kick and cut. These, boom, boom. So they're not practical techniques, but they build stamina and core strength and leg strength and stability for when you employ different movements. It's much easier when you're upright. Another exercise we can do to help build our space. You know, where our hands are, this is our space, right? Everywhere that I can reach, this is my space to protect. So an exercise that we can do that will help build my ability not to collapse my arm is kind of like a push-up, but I'm gonna hold it. So it's like a plank, except my arms are round. So I just hold it like a plank for as long as I can. So someone may be able to push all of me backwards, but they can't collapse my arms and come into my space. So I'm developing my strength in the different positions. So let's say this, you know, like if we're here and I cut down and cut up at the same time. And I hold it for as long as I can. And then I would trade arms. And hold it for a long time. And the longer I can hold it, the longer it builds my stamina, my ability to maintain my structure. An exercise that is more exclusive to Aikido is an irimi tenkan. So I'm going to stand and I'm going to irimi and raise my arms up like I'm raising the sword, tenkan, and cut them down. And I want to begin and end all movement together. And I want to end very solidly. I want to explode forward when I begin and then stop. So I'm driving the movement up, I'm turning, and I'm cutting down and staying very stable. So there's not any rocking or floppiness in my movement. I'm cutting to the inside. If there were a person striking me and I'm going to the outside of their body, I'd be deflecting them and pulling their arm down. So, very stable. Can go back and forth and back and forth. One thing to add, when I do this, I'm cutting down, but I'm not tense. I'm not like, I'm just ending my motion together, ready to move again. So I'm not stuck. So these are just a couple of, these are 4 or 5 exercises that you can use for any martial art to develop your stability, your ability to be light and quick, but also very stable. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it helps you. Please tell all of your friends to subscribe to Aiki-Fit Life and subscribe yourself if you're not there. I would appreciate that. Thank you and have a nice day.